everyone, it's Chloe.
I'm Millie here from Lightwave 3D. Today we're going to be interviewing a product design artist and animator, Duncan Hewitt, to celebrate May the 4th. Please could you give us an overview of who you are and what you do for the audience?
Okay, my name's Duncan Hewitt and I'm a 3D generalist, but I specialise in product visualization, that side of things.
And how did you get started in this career?
Yeah, I got started. I'm an industrial designer by training, and the degree and masters in that. But CGI just started to come out in the early 90s. So a couple of us decided to get involved with it, and it was new. And we could offer clients the idea of seeing products before they were actually made, so it helped them sell their products and prototype things.
What's your biggest inspiration for choosing this career?
Oh wow! I'm a born tinkerer. I love building stuff. I was always in the workshop, with proper physical models, making them. So when you could do it from bedroom where we started, and then from a studio later on, it just become it was just the ideal thing. You didn't get your hands dirty, but you could still make. So it's actually the modeling I still really like doing. That's the bit, and the pretty pictures at the end. So yeah.
Do you have a specific style that you're known for, or?
Probably not, no, because each client, I tend to work to what the client wants. So most of it's photoreal. I did a lot of art quiz in the past, and that sort of progressed into, because I know how things work, I do a lot of visualization of products within sort of domestic environments or building environments. So sort of windows, doors, that kind of thing, composite elements that how they work, how they fit together, how they fit into a building. So that's all photoreal stuff. When it comes to some illustration, there's the stuff that's a bit more hyper-real, where they want a bit more punch in it. That's another style that I quite like. That's for another client that they tend to like that. That's more of a marketing side of things. But it varies from client to client. I've done cartoon stuff, and I've had sort of character stuff, because I worked in the games industry for a short while too, so there's a bit of sort of that experience too, and that was obviously more cartoony. It all depends on a job by job basis.
Yeah, adaptable basically.
Totally, yeah. You have to be to survive, and it's worked so far for 30 years. So yeah.
Is there external media that inspires your work?
I love films, so that always sort of sits in you. But looking at other artists, mainly what they're going through, we've got some great, because of where we are in Derby, we've got so many good games companies, and 3D artists have all done what I've done, come out of the industry and gone into their own area. So we've got Simon Smalley's just up the road, and he does the stuff for online. We've got Richard Lindell up the road as well. There've been other guys in the area too that you keep tabs on. So it's just watching what other people are up to and seeing where they're at. But I mean, I do like it's sad, but I like a good clean product presentation where it's really clean and snappy and precise. That does it for me, to be honest.
I was going to ask, is there a favorite project you have that you've worked with Lightwave on, or what used Lightwave on?
Yeah, probably most recent one, because my work's gone through various iterations in terms of where it's concentrating. So when I first left pre-games, it was more in product viz and general design as well. So it was graphics for the bike company, and then showing them what they would look like, that kind of thing. Worked for Cadbury's and Lego, and it was just more marketing material. Then when it was in games, it went through just a 3-year period of just game design, which was great, being employed. That's the only time I've actually been employed, which was quite nice. But then I am unemployable, because I just like tinkering with so many things. I'll get bored quite quickly, so this is ideal. Then it was ArcViz was a big thing, because that was so easy to get into when I left games. That obviously went abroad, a lot of people doing that, but because of my specialist knowledge in product design, that sort of took off. So we got involved actually in product design for some engineering projects, and Lightwave was always a part of that. And then, but recently, it's sort of, whilst the product side is a massive chunk, I'm really interested in history and archaeology as well. So I did a project 2 years ago, so a year-long project of reconstruction of a medieval village, and that's working with archaeologists and sort of LiDAR data, different type of data you can get, and that was good fun. So I'd like to do more of that. So that project of reconstruction of a village, that was probably my most favourite. It was game engine work, so it was on Unreal, but assets were created in Lightwave. I mean, I used Lightwave and 3D Coat and Unreal and others as I need to, just dip in and out. But Lightwave's always there. It's open now behind the screen.
That's great.
So that's the best project for sure.
What's your overall favourite feature of Lightwave, and why is it your favourite?
Favorite feature is the modeling. It's quite sad. I like the way Lightwave works. Full stop. It's you can get your hands on data as quickly as you need to. Whereas I use Max in the games industry. I've had a dabble in Blender, Cinema 4D way back. But Lightwave's always the one where if you want to get something quick and dirty done, you can just do it. And I still use it, and even in the CAD work that I still do, where I help people with 3D designs on products, I will flesh it out in Lightwave first and hack it out quickly, and then move to CAD. So that the modeling and the ease of modeling and the quickness of modeling is what I really like in there.
When did you first discover Lightwave?
94, 95. I was at uni, and we wanted to set up a company, and a guy said, I've got an Amiga and there's this bit of software that's making space programs, and I liked space programs. That was good fun. And I like computers, and so yeah, it was then. It was Lightwave 3.5. I think I started on. I had to say, yeah, I left it at 5.5, but came back at 7 something. And in games, we could choose what software we wanted to use. But their in-house software that they used must be about 400 of us at the peak, and it was quite a big company. Their in-house software looked very much like Lightwave 2, so they were obviously based on that sort of way of working too. So yeah, it's been a love affair for quite a while now. Yeah.
What are some of the key milestones or achievements in your career you could tell us about? I know that's a really broad question.
Broad one. I was thinking about this, and it's a few years ago now, but the probably the project I'm most proud of in terms of what I achieved is that I worked with another 3D guy who's more product design, and he did a bit of Lightwave but more CAD. We brought our skills together on a project for the offshore simulator centre up in they're in Norway, they're part owned by Rolls-Royce and Farstad Shipping, I think it is, and also university. And we started doing visuals. They basically make offshore simulators for ships, cranes, underwater sea vessels, that sort of thing. So you can learn how to captain a ship without crashing a ship, that kind of thing. But they all communicate to each other. So you'll be in a room on a bridge, and the bridge will be the size of a ship's bridge. There'll be 80 of them in the room with a big screen outside projected, so as if they're at sea. And then next door in another simulator, there'll be a crane cab guy who's bringing stuff onto the ship, or there might be an underwater chap in another room, and they're all linked in real time. But they had a project where they knew we did, at that time, we were only doing visualization, but they knew that we were both product designers. So, and we happened to know the chap who was running the company. He's just an old uni colleague, and they had a base for a crane cab which sort of wobbled and simulated how the crane would move. But the students had designed it, but they needed it proving to see if it would work in real life. So we modeled it on CAD, and then again rendered it in Lightwave. The process is backwards and forwards from CAD to Lightwave, rendered it in Lightwave and proved it. So the next job was we were actually commissioned to design the actual crane cab itself to go on it. So it's a large sort of 10-foot high, 6-foot wide seat in the middle, armrest, with little control panels in. So we designed it, and then with Lightwave we'd take the designs from the CAD sheet, the CAD metal sheet work we'd done. We created marketing material so that could go out first before the thing was built, so they could actually start marketing it and selling it to wherever. And then we actually had it made, and we were in charge of the production as well. So we brought the production to England for that. And what was quite cool is that the electronics were built in Norway, then they were shipped to us. Then we created this base unit with this crane cab. We did a prototype build in a room, and then it would all be collapsed down, packaged up, and then shipped off went to, I think it was the largest simulator centre in Perth in Australia. So
Wow.
all from a little place in Derbyshire, which is lovely to sort of oversee a project like that. And I think they ended up with about 4 or 5 of them being built. And yeah, that was good fun. It was, yeah, that was probably the best one, I think. Things still being used in Australia to this day, and
Wow.
so they've got some in Norway as well as part of it. It's quite a cool centre actually. They have a massive the bridge. They've got a big hall that's about, well, I know that because we helped visualize that too and see how large it was. So they gave us the plans of the large building they were having built over there to house all of their headquarters. And inside that, they've got a 14-meter sphere that's suspended from the ceiling, and there's a gangplank going in the middle. It is quite cool. And on the middle level, there's the ship's bridge, and then the crane cab is in the top, and in the base, you've got the sort of walking simulator where you can walk around if you're a deckhand. So they've got 3 simulators all in this sphere, and then the crane cabs are situated behind there in their own white bubble spheres as well that you just walk into and work. So it is quite cool. Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day for us. We really
No worries.
appreciate it.
No worries.